The Senate will come to order. Senator Bowden.
Mr. President, I impose a call of the Senate.
The Senate is now under call. Senator Bowden.
Mr. President, I move that further proceedings under the roll call be dispensed with and the Sergeant at Arms be instructed to bring in the absent members.
On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, if you'd be so kind as to stand if you're able. In our tradition, we start with prayer, and that prayer is followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Today, I'm proud to state and introduce that today's chaplain is Rabbi Adam Stock Spilker from Mount Zion Temple in St. Paul. And as a gentle reminder, following the prayer, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. In the Jewish community, we are in the middle days of Passover, a time to envision better days with a model of the possibility of significant positive change. But sometimes these changes can be creative ways to maintain status quo and balance. 3 weeks ago, I was in Jerusalem. In the Old City, I stood outside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and looked at a ladder outside the church placed in the 18th century, long before Minnesota was a state. The status quo of the 6 Christian communities owning that church requires that the ladder cannot be moved because they don't agree whose jurisdiction it is. And I start with this to say that there can be creative solutions even in a time of disagreement, and so I pray. God of our ancestors, God of our children, God of all of us, God of peace. In a time such as this, we are especially grateful for your presence in our lives, the way you act within people to inspire acts of compassion and justice. In a time such as this, may you, the members of the Senate, dedicate yourselves to creative solutions in order to fight poverty, preserve democracy, promote justice, and strengthen the many communities within our state. May you resolve not to yield to despair or to cynicism or to fatigue, so that this state, under God and in alliance with like-minded peoples of all faiths and of none, will continue to comfort the desperate, goad the conscience of the comfortable, and be a blessing to all the children of God, so the dreams of justice and peace will never perish from this earth. Amen.
Thank you, members. The Secretary will take the roll.
Abler, Anderson, Barr, Bolden, Carlson, Champion, Coleman, Swadzinski, Dames, Dibble, Dornick, Draheim, Drazkowski, Duckworth, Diedzik, Eichhorn, Farnsworth, Fateh, Frenz, Green, Grunhagen, Gustafson, Hochschild, Herr, Hoffman, Housley, Howe, Jasinski, Johnson, Klein, Coran, Kroon, Kunish, Kupek, Lang, Latz, Liskey, Limmer, Lucero, Mann, Marty, Matthews, Mayquaid, McEwen, Miller, Mitchell, Mohammed, Morrison, Murphy, Nelson, Umuver-Baton, Pappas, Pa, Port, Pratt, Putnam, Rarick, Rasmussen, Rest, Seeberger, Utke, Weber, Wiesenberg, Westland, Westrom, Wickland, Zhang.
Members, a quorum is present. Members, the following members intend to vote from a remote location under Rule 40.7. Senator Anderson, Senator Coleman, Senator Diedzik, Senator Murphy, Senator Port, Senator Putnam, and Senator Wiesenberg. In our tradition, as you know, I am reading from today's agenda. If you want to follow along, you are more than welcome to do so. We will start with the third order of business, messages from the House. The Secretary will read the message.
Mr. President, I have the honor to announce the passage by the House of the following House files herewith transmitted. House file numbers 4661 and 3800. Signed, Patrick D. Murphy, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives.
Members, no action is required. We'll proceed to the fourth order of business, first reading of House bills. The House files have been given their first reading and referred as indicated. Senator Bowden.
Mr. President, I move to lay House File number 3800 on the table.
On that motion to lay a bill on the table, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, we will now go to the fifth order of business. There's one committee report to read at the desk.
Senator Rest from the Committee on Taxes, to which was referred Senate File Number 5252, a bill for an act relating to education finance, providing for supplemental funding for pre-kindergarten through grade 12 education. Reports the same back with the recommendation that the bill do pass and be re-referred to the Committee on Finance.
Senator Bowden for a motion to adopt the committee report.
Mr. President, I move the committee reports printed in the agenda and read by the Secretary be adopted.
On that motion, all in favor say aye.
Mr. President, I ask for roll call.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Any other discussions on the motion? Seeing none, the Secretary will take the roll. Senator Morrison, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Mr. President, Senator Dietzig votes aye.
Senator Dietzig votes aye.
Senator Murphy votes aye.
Senator Murphy votes aye.
Senator Port votes aye.
Senator Port votes aye.
Mr. President, Senator Putnam votes aye.
And Senator Putnam votes aye. Senator
Mr.
Jasinski,
President.
for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Senator Coleman votes no.
Senator Coleman votes no.
Senator Eichhorn votes no.
Senator Eichhorn votes no.
Senator Wiesenberg votes no.
Senator Wiesenberg votes no.
And I'm waiting on one more, Mr. President. Mr. President,
Senator Jasinski.
Senator Anderson votes no.
And Senator Anderson votes no. We are waiting for Senator Rest. All senators having voted who desires to vote, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 34 ayes and 32 noes, the motion is adopted. Members, we're going to the sixth order of business, second reading of Senate bills. The Secretary will read the Senate file numbers.
Senate File Numbers 5326 and 5289.
The Senate files have been given their second reading. Members, we'll go to the eighth order of business, introduction and first reading of Senate bills. The bills listed on today's introduction calendar are given their first reading and referred as indicated. Members, we will now proceed to the ninth. Members, we will now proceed to the ninth order of business, motions and resolutions. Senator Rarick.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would request that the Mitchell motion be considered separately from the rest under the ninth order of business.
Got it. Thank you, Senator Rarick. I just conferring. We would divide out the Senator Mitchell motion. So, members, all the other motions will be will be taken as one motion with the exception of Senator Mitchell. All in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We will now take up the Senator Mitchell motion. To that motion, Senator Rasmussen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would request a roll call.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the secretary will take the roll on the Senator Mitchell motion. Members, just so you're clear, if you look under the ninth order of business, because you have to be at your desk, you cannot be at any other desk while we are voting. It is Senator Mitchell moved that the name of Senator May Quay be added as a co-author. That is what is before the body. Senator Morrison, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Dietzig votes aye.
Senator Dietzig votes aye.
Senator Murphy votes aye.
Senator Murphy votes aye.
Senator Port votes aye.
Senator Port votes aye.
Mr. President, Senator Putnam votes aye.
And Senator Putnam votes aye. All members
Mr.
have...
President,
Oh, sorry about that. Senator Jasinski, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
thank you, Mr. President. Senator Anderson votes no.
Senator Anderson votes no.
Senator Coleman votes no.
And Senator Coleman votes no.
Senator Eichhorn votes no.
Senator Eichhorn votes no.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Weissenberg votes no.
And Senator Weissenberg votes no. All senators having voted who desires to vote, the secretary will close the roll. There being 29 ayes and 34 noes, the motion does not prevail. Members, we will now proceed to the 13th order of business. All right. Any announcements of Senate interest before I go to Senator Bowden? Seeing none, Senator Bowden.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate do now adjourn until Monday, April 29th at 11 a.m.
On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. The Senate is now adjourned.